Hey guys, Rick Shaw. I just wanted to show you, I hope you can see that in the mirror. There's our little fuzzy muff. A lot of you guys were saying that you can hear me a lot better with this, so this is what I'm going to use. Today it is the, I'm not even sure what day it is. Is it the 2nd or the 3rd? Hang on, let's take a look here. I gotta look at my phone. Hang on, I'll shut this off. No, leave it on.
Down in cars.
Alright. Wonder why I can't, this dang phone, you can't get rid of stuff on here. And it's very, very aggravating. Gosh dang, stop it, phone. Really don't like this phone. You can't swipe anything away when you want to.
I am gassy.
It's so aggravating. I don't like this Samsung phone that I have. It's a never again for me, ever. As long as I buy phones, I'll never have another one of these. All right, it's the 2nd today. All that just to get to the date thing, because it won't allow me to close things out and get them out of the way, which is just, to me, is just aggravating. My other phone did all that stuff as advertised. This one, it does stupid stuff all the time. I don't like it. There's my little boy. He likes his cars. There's my little Moo. Hi, buddy. Got a little bumple there. But I want to talk to you something. My wife is out again today, which is good. She needs to air her head out some more, and she's going. So don't make too much noise, guys. She's going to pay our bills. We get paid on the 1st here, so. She's going up there to take care of it. And we were watching on the Meralco bill. And you guys, you look at your Meralco bill. Now these people, these billing people, that's what they do for a living. So when there's a mistake, I start to think it's on purpose. And how many people are just going to pay this bill and just not even think about it? Well, what happened was we got this last bill, and it had this huge amount on there. Now we did get a letter. It was saying on there that said, because you couldn't pay, they were going to estimate. Now, we've paid every single month. I pay it in full every single month as long as I've been in the Philippines. I do that with all my bills. As soon as the bill comes in, first thing I do at the beginning of the month is I dump all the bills. Boom. Then the rest is what we have left over. So, February bill said no balance brought forward. That's how it always is. Then March bill came up when this lockdown thing started, April, May, and they were saying my bill has always run in this house between $1,300 and $1,400. We don't use air conditioning. I'm not one to leave stuff burning all the time. We have fans that we use. We don't have a high electric bill. That's just what ours is. So they get this thing in there, and they're charging me $1,400 and even $1,500. They're guesstimating, right? So now we get this bill today. It says balance brought forward, and they hit us with like an extra $3,000 on there. Well, wait a minute. We used less electricity during the lockdown. We're going to bed at 8 o'clock. When I get up in the middle of the night, I don't turn anything on. So we should have used less. So now all of a sudden they're going to say I used $1,000 a month more. So we're looking at, no, it's not correct. They did this meter reading just recently that said all of a sudden our bill in those 3 months of lockdown jumped 1,000 pesos, almost double per month. And then this last month it was at 1,400, or it was actually for 2. So she's going to go down there and say, hey, what the heck? And they're saying it was a balance brought forward. No, there was no balances we ever owed. Now the water people, they're really good. They're billing down there where we have our water. They're good. I keep an eye on all these bills, and everything is fine. Theirs is right on the money. I watch it. Now our last place we lived, we had to buy into the water company. It was San Juan Jaco, some baloney, jack off, something like that. And you have to give them $15,000 for shares in this water. And we were lucky to get water 4 hours a day. Hi, sweetie.
Hello.
There you go. And so that was a real bummer. So we've been out of there a year since we sold it, and we've been trying for a year to get our shares back. My wife when she was out yesterday, went down yesterday and said, hey, what the heck's going on? Where the heck is our share money? That's ours. They said, no, you can't, we're not giving share money back anymore. It's ours. Pound salt. This is what you get here, guys. So be careful with that kind of stuff. I don't understand why you would have to buy a share in anything like that. Just pay your bill every month. They have a service. They want to provide you with water. They give you the water, you pay them. Or they can say, give us a little bit in advance, 1 month in advance. We're going to guesstimate what you use. That's fine with me. But buying 15,000 pesos worth of shares in this thing, and then when you go to redeem your shares, sorry. You know, this is what you're going to run into in this country a lot with these people. You know, for us, that's just a little stinking drop in the bucket. But, you know, I just don't like the way a lot of these places deal. And the longer you're here, the more you find out about this stuff. And Meralco, that's just, to me, is absolutely ludicrous that they could make such a huge mistake. And it's clear. We sat down and looked at that bill yesterday and went over it very well, and sure enough, they hit us for an extra $3,200 that they shouldn't. You know, because we went to the meter, they just read the meter this last time, and they just inflated it. They just decided, oh, we're going to charge you an extra $1,000 or so a month. And so it's baloney. So she's going to go down there today to the main office. So she'll probably be down there a long time. I'm sure there's a lot of other people down there really ticked off at them. But there's probably a lot of people that just pay it and say, oh, well, that's just it. And they pay it and they don't, and then they get away with it. Not me. I'm down to every penny. That's how I've always been. But hopefully we'll get on something else good. But we got, look at this, we got this nice day. Got some big fluffy clouds over there. And it's breezy again today. It's not really hot. I hear everybody walking by and saying, Mainit, you know, oh, how hot it is and all that. Well, you spend an August in Missouri and then you tell me about hot. You spend some time up in the Mojave Desert and tell me about hot. This place is not hot. It's very lovely. I was out yesterday, had the Piaggio out. Took it for a nice run. I really do like to drive that thing. I wish when we moved we had a little bit better parking. But me, I'm not all about, you know, big places. I know some guys here that came to the Philippines and they built a house and they built this big, huge house. I've been to a couple of them, fantastic places, and they're for sale now because it's too big. Me, I don't want big. You know, if I got a house that's around 100 square meters, that's more than enough for us. We're Filipino style. We sleep on one big mattress on the floor. I guess that's Japanese style. I don't know, but all together, we have our hug fest every morning, which I really love. I'm glad that they're not stuck in a bedroom here and a bedroom there. I used to get up when my other kids were little and go wake them up and give them massages and stuff like that. This is much better. My son Matty, he's my most generous, sweetest baby. He's my favorite. He'll wake up in the middle of the night and just give me a hug and tell me he loves me at 1 o'clock in the morning sometimes 3. You know, and then he falls right back asleep. I mean, he's back out. And that to me is something that you can't put a dollar value on. There's no amount of money that you could buy that with. I mean, that's just something that it's a pure gift from the good Lord above, and I'm loving it. I mean, I like the McDonald's commercial. I'm loving it because this is something extra special here with these babies. They're fantastic, and I love them to death. That's for sure. But that was my little thing today, 2nd of July. Don't forget, maybe they'll let you out so you can celebrate your freedom on the 4th, guys. That's my big joke. I wish this stuff would just end. A lot of these, people that push these gods of science, that are saying all this stuff. I was going back and forth with the guy. He said, "Oh, there's going to be millions dead by this certain date." No, come on. I have one friend. I didn't know anybody personally who had it. Well, now I do. He said his daughter contracted it. Well, that was a little bit back, and I was hoping for the best. And he said, she had to do the quarantine thing with him. I guess him too. And come right out, said, no, she's actually fine. So they tested her and she came up positive. Now, this test, I was under the understanding if you get one positive, they should do it again, but that wasn't done. They just said, oh, we got positive. They want numbers. They want numbers to say all this stuff, but you know, the dead are done. I think, you know, you go to places like New York when they were sending COVID people into nursing homes, they got rid of all those people already. You know, so their numbers are definitely going to fall. And there's light, you know, there's some light on these people, what they're doing. And so, you know, people are being a little more careful. Now, I personally, myself, would stay away from an old folks home. You know, who knows? Do you have this in you and you don't even know it? Maybe. But like I said before, I'm not too worried about it. So we're hoping we get all that settled out today. I want to go out, if my wife gets back in a timely fashion, I'd like to go out in the grocery store and get some food and stuff like that. We got cleaning lady going to come clean here. This house, for some reason, it gets very quickly, it gets spider webs up in the corners by the ceilings, and it's dusty. I lived up in the desert, a high desert, for a while, and it wasn't as dusty as here, and that's all sand up there. This area is just dusty. Our last house was ridiculously dusty. I would go around and dust all the stuff on the shelves and come back 2 days later and it's covered in dust again. So, and that's this place, and all the stinking cobwebs all over from the ceiling. That was just all cleaned up. Every time I see them, I grab that little Wistemble and I go through and I wipe all them things down, and you come back 2 days later, there's more. You know, there's just so many more. So we're going to have the cleaning lady come in and take care of all that, get that fixed up, and not too much else. Just trying. I got my little boom thingy on here. Hope you guys like the volume. It's a little bit better now. There's my handsome buddy riding his little thing, his sister's little buggy. That little thing that he's got right there. You see it real good. You lean on it to steer it, which is kind of cool. You just push the handlebars over, and that's what turns the wheels. Watch this. Let's show them. See, let's turn it. You lean it. Oh, and that turns the wheels. So that was kind of cool. I had to go in and Loctite all the bolts because, you know, when the first day she got it, they were falling out. So I got some Loctite from the hardware store, and they're stainless bolts in it. I mean, they didn't go cheap on this one. And I went ahead and pulled them all out, put some blue Loctite on them, and tightened everything down, torqued it down, and so far nothing's come loose. It's got really good bearings in the wheels. I always look at that kind of stuff. You know, I see these ones, my wife will say, oh, let's get this one, it's cheap. And I have to pick it up and show her and say, this is why it's cheap. Look at the bearing in this wheel. That's crap. That's not going to hold up. You know, so you have to look at all this stuff. And then this one, when I saw it, I saw stainless steel fasteners and a real good bearing in the wheel, and you can replace it. You can actually take this bearing out and replace it. I was okay, we're going to buy this. And was it a little more than the other ones? Yeah, my wife complains sometimes. But, you know, I want to get them something that's going to last. You know, not like that thing right there. That was just too dirt cheap. That's why I grabbed it. You know, when they sell these things for, you know, like $15, I grab it. And when it breaks to where I don't want to fix it anymore, we'll just get another one, you know, like that. But, we're starting to look for my daughter. I'm going to get my son a two-wheel scooter like this, a good one. We're going to go out when the cleaning lady's here, and we're going to go find that. And then also we're going to start looking for my daughter a good bike. And the thing I saw one on Lazada that's exactly what I want. I'm not going to buy it. You know, I told my wife, I don't care what they cost as long as we get, you know, if I can get what I want. But like I say, I want a regular steel frame bike. It can have a handbrake on it. That's fine. But I want coaster brake. I want to have a good coaster brake, not these little band things they put on here that are no good. A regular in the hub coaster brake. A little bit durable. You don't have to goof with them. This coaster brake or rear brake on this one, it's in the hub. Oh, it's a pain. It's always coming loose. The thing's coming off. I'm greasy fingers all the time, every time they ride that. So that's a pain in the butt. But I'd like that coaster brake, and I want a banana seat. I don't know why banana seats on kids' bikes went out of fashion. Even my big mountain bike, I had this big mountain bike I built, and you know, I bought a frame and I built all the stuff when I was in California. I put a banana seat on it, and the guy was like, I'd never heard of that before. Well, I hammered out the seat pan myself and upholstered it myself, and then we used the rack. It was a really good mountain rack, heavy duty, for guys who do this bicycle traveling and they carry all their stuff in the back. So I did that, and I used that to mount to the seat and then the regular seat post, and you can move around on it a little bit. It's very comfortable. Somebody wants to jump on it, I had the little thing sticking out from the back peg so they could put their feet on that and jump on the back if they wanted to. So, that's what I'd like to see with the kids' bikes. Now they're giving them all these stupid handbrakes that they can't pull. The Chinese stuff we're getting doesn't work for long anyway. Can you say live long and prosper? Live long and prosper. We like Star Trek. But that's where we're at. But we'll find the stuff. I'm never in a hurry to get this kind of stuff. It's like with the motorcycle right now. I'm still going to look. I got pretty much what I wanted to get, but I had 2 months ago I had pretty much what I wanted to get also, and then this other one came up, and now this another one's coming up. So, I'm looking to get one. I'm trying to get one that is going to be the most economical to operate. One thing also, when you come here in the Philippines, a lot of these little bikes, there's no oil filter on them. They got a little screen in there. You don't have to worry about an oil filter. The problem that I've run into, like with the Piaggio, every time I go down to Piaggio, I get 5 or 6 oil filters, and I set them in the cupboard. You can't get them anywhere. And now they'll mail them. They said they'll mail them, but before they wouldn't. And I got extra cable. I got extra stuff for that. But if you go like for this car right here, the only place you're getting the parts for are Honda. And they don't even have it all the time, so that's a real bummer. Motorbikes, if you want a filter for your motorbike, good luck. Good luck if you got a cross-reference so you can find it, but most of the places don't have them. You go to auto parts stores, bike stores, and all this stuff, they don't have them. Oh yeah, we can get it for you. Like it said on Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? We can get it for you in 2 weeks, one of them geographical anomalies that they're 2 weeks from everywhere, and that's here. So that's kind of funny. So that's why I want to try to get something. The WR 155R looks pretty cool. It doesn't have adjustable suspension, but the suspension seems set up really well, from the factory, but no adjustments at all other than preload. But oil filter, radiator, I don't want to get into that. I just don't. A lot of people, I had some friends in the States say, well, with all the heat there, you probably should have water cooled. Yeah, that'll get you a little more power here. Something breaks on that, you're basically stuck. Getting some antifreeze, good luck. But no, I don't want that. I've never heard of any of these little air-cooled under stress motors overheating. They just don't. We had the same motor, they call it the Honda Unicorn motor. Ours wasn't fuel injected though, it was carbureted on our TMX. And that little motor, I ran the living poop out of that thing. I put 2 up on the sprocket in the back and 1 down on the front to get us the better power with the tricycle. And when I ran that thing, I was running it. I ran it. And then when we got stuck in traffic, we were up in Greenfield one time, and going through EDSA, you get through this nightmare traffic in the heat of the day. And I had a little fan thing going that we had blowing on us, a 12-volt job, and something, the bike ran it. It didn't have a problem. No hot light came on, nothing untowards. It just ran it. I checked the oil when I got home. The oil didn't look like it was beat. Usually when you get them super hot for a long time, that oil will get black quick. It wasn't. It still felt slippery. Of course, I'm an AMSOIL guy, Mobil 1 or AMSOIL. So that helps out a lot. But I think if I do this Honda bike that's coming up, I might put an oil cooler on it. Easy to do on these little motors, so maybe we'll see. We'll see what we can do. I know on my 650 XR or CRF 650L, I had those ones. When you get on the highway, they were known for overheating, and it would get hot. And what it would do is when you look at the oil would get beat. Even though I was using synthetic, it was still beating it. So what I did was I found a oil cooler, a big one. and I mount it down along the tube, because on those the oil goes in the frame, and they're a dry sump deal, and the oil's in the frame. So that was that helped that bike. That ended the problem. Of course, it added another half a quart of oil too, which was really cool. That increased the oil volume. So just that in itself helps cool the vehicle down. But also with the cooler. And then I had this really cool. The Amish guy made me a real nice leather. Hi, sweetie. How you doing? You can go in and see the kids if you want. That's our little neighbor girl. She's our little sweetie. I never mind to have her around because she's very respectful. Like she was over there wanting to come in, and she wouldn't interrupt because I'm making a video. She's just such a sweet kid, and I really like to have her around. My daughter and her fast friends, and I hope when we move out of here that they keep in touch, because I like it. A lot of these little kids around here are so respectful, and that's a rare quality in the U.S. I've seen some kids that were just downright ornery, and these kids are very respectful. But I don't have a whole lot more to say today. Just wanted to get something out there and let you know we're all still here again, and hopefully one of these days this lockdown will end. I'm doubting it. It's a worldwide financial reset. Hey, you look good, mister. Look at that. Hey, Mr. Fancy Feet over here. All right. Smile and say, what you got to say for me? We're going to end. Well, you got to say it into the camera. Thank you, Mr. Little Rickshaw.